there, I feel in the mood today to share a channeled reading for you, a pick a card reading using the Osho Zen Tarot deck. One of my favorite decks. I've had this for so long and I've loved it. It's a great truth-telling deck. So the topic of today's reading is going to be messages from your higher self. What do you need to know right now? So go ahead and choose, using your intuition, a card that resonates for you. And then you'll see in the menu bar below that you can scroll ahead to the timestamp for that card. Okay, so choosing card A, card B, and card C. A, B, or C. Okay, so welcome to your reading, everybody that picked card A. And the card that you got is Celebration. So this is a card in the tarot. It is, I think, the Three of Cups. And it basically shows three women dancing in the rain. And they're celebrating for no good reason. They're just having a blast. And this is about celebrating just because you're alive and not needing things to necessarily go your way to have a cause to celebrate. It's just about really being in the moment of celebrating life as it is. So let's see what Osho says. These three women dancing in the wind and the rain remind us that celebration never need depend on outside circumstances. We need not wait for a special holiday or a formal occasion, nor a sunny and cloudless day. True celebration arises from a joy that is first experienced deep within and spills over into an overflow of song and dance and laughter and, yes, even tears of gratitude. This is so beautiful because actually I was just being reminded of this yesterday. I was meditating with a friend and he was reminding me that, when we really tap into our source, there's always a well of joy and love and well-being there. It's always there that we can tap into from within. And it really just takes a few minutes of going within to feel connected with that, to really receive that frequency from yourself. When you choose this card, it indicates you're becoming more and more available and open to the many opportunities that there are to celebrate in life, and to spread this by contagion to others. The party is happening around you every moment. Beautiful. So enjoy and celebrate. Celebrate what's in your life. So let's see what the Council of Light has to say. So this is not just a message, it's also an energetic transmission. So if you can, while you're receiving this, just really open to receive the energetic component of it. And I am going to be sharing more about this in my transmission masterclass, which is coming up for free in mid-September. You can register on my website. I would really love for you to be there. It's going to be so awesome. So the link to that is down in the description box. So just check in and make sure you have an inner yes to receiving a message today from the Council of Light. We would like to take this moment with you today to celebrate you and to remind you of just how unique you are in this world. How absolutely precious and special, never ever to be replicated, duplicated. You are only you in this moment in time in history, in this particular time and place, an incredibly rare almost impossible thing that you even exist. It's a miracle. There's only so much that Karen can convey that through words, but we hope you receive this transmission and the feeling and the knowing of just how unique and special and one of a kind you really are. And these words, you know, they have been repeated and lost meaning over time, which is why we're here today to remind you of this, with the hopes that you receive the transmission and the knowing. Because from our perspective, if you were to see yourself through the lens that we see you, you would cherish who you are. You would know in every moment how precious this opportunity is to be you. You know, for Karen, it's to be a Karen in this lifetime. It's this never again ever gonna happen. This Karen doesn't exist ever again. She's just one time in history, in all time, that this configuration comes into form in just this way. And so you have this one lifetime, this one shot at being you. And we just encourage you to go for it and to let yourself really be you and to celebrate who you are. And celebrate who you are by really being yourself and expressing what is within you to express in the world, because that is only you can do that. So thank you for being here with us today. And we hope you take this message to heart, because you are loved and you are cherished and you are oh so very special. That was so beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. I always feel, well, and I've been reminded by my teacher, Melanie, that anything I channel is also for me. So that was really, really beautiful message to receive. So thank you so much for being with me for this spontaneous reading today. And if you would like more channeled guidance or human design to really help you clarify who you are and what your next steps are, you can book that through my website, karenmcmullen.ca, and that's linked below. And also I have this amazing masterclass coming up called Transmission Masterclass, the Mechanics of Divine Communication. So I'm going to be really sharing about how does it work to establish and nurture this direct connection with the divine so that you can access your own ongoing source of guidance in your life to really be you. I sincerely hope you'll check it out, and if it resonates, that you'll come and join us. Hello, everybody who picked card B. Oh, okay, here we go. Card B is called Comparison. Comparison. And if it were in the traditional tarot, it would be the Five of Swords. And in this Osho deck, the swords is called the mind. So it's the five, which basically indicates, it shows a tree and a bamboo. And the idea here is a bamboo is a bamboo, a tree is a tree. And if a bamboo compares itself to a tree, it could feel inferior. Like, oh, I don't have the same width. Oh, I didn't grow as tall. I don't have big branches. Looking at what it doesn't have. And the tree could do the same with the bamboo. It could say, oh, I'm not quite so flexible in the wind like the bamboo is. I don't grow as quickly. So they could compare themselves, but it's such a good metaphor because we can see how ridiculous it is to compare yourself. It's ridiculous. You shouldn't do that. Like, the bamboo is the bamboo. It serves a completely different function in the universe than the tree does, and vice versa. And both are perfect. Both are unique. Both are special. And I feel like this really builds on the reading that we just did for card A, which was about just how unique and special each of us actually are. There's no possible way that Karen McMullen is ever going to exist in the universe again. This is a one-time deal. So that's quite an amazing opportunity to be yourself. And yet we live in this social media era where we're actually getting these metrics on our lives. You know, some of us have hundreds of thousands of followers and some of us have no followers. Some of us, you know, like are displaying our perfect lives, and others make it feel like their life isn't as great because they don't have a curated, beautiful social media. So social media makes it really, really a comparison-oriented society. And this is like the first time ever in history that this has been the case. And this card is basically highlighting the major downfall of doing this to yourself, of comparing. It actually robs you of the possibility of just being a bamboo and really being who you are, because you're focused on the lack. You're focused on what you're not. So let me see if there's anything in the description that adds to what I've already said. I'll just read it to you. So whoever told you that the bamboo is more beautiful than the oak, or the oak is more valuable than the bamboo? Do you think the oak wishes it had a hollow trunk like this bamboo? Does the bamboo feel jealous of the oak because it's bigger and its leaves change color in the fall? The very idea of the two trees comparing themselves to each other seems ridiculous, but we humans seem to find this habit very hard to break. Let's face it, there's always going to be someone who's more beautiful, more talented, stronger, more intelligent, or apparently happier than you are. And conversely, there will always be those who are less than you in all these ways. The way to find out who you are is not by comparing yourself with others, but by looking to see whether you are fulfilling your own potential in the best way you know how. Comparison brings inferiority and superiority. When you don't compare, all inferiority, all superiority disappear. Then you simply are there. A small bush or a big high tree, it doesn't matter. You are yourself. You are needed. A grass leaf is needed as much as the biggest star. Without the grass leaf, God will be less than he is. Just look around. All is needed and everything fits together. It is an organic unity. Nobody is higher and nobody is lower. Nobody superior, nobody inferior. Everybody is incomparably unique. So one practical thing that maybe you might need to do right now is just detox a little bit from social media, or be more conscious of your social media consumption. And also something that I have done recently is I realized I was just being overly influenced by my mentors, by even people that I hired to help me, it was taking me away from my individual knowing. And so I just have been coming back to trusting that I actually know who I am, what's right for me, what I resonate with or what I don't resonate with, and I don't need to use other people's who they are as a metric to define myself. So this definitely resonates for me, this message. So let's see what comes through for you, Group B, Card B, for a channeled message from the Council of Light. And just a reminder, this is not just a message, it's an energetic transmission, so you can go ahead and open to receive the energy frequency that accompanies the message, because that can also activate and transform or cause a transformation or initiate a transformation. We would like to offer you a softness, a warmth, care, love, fuzzy pink heart hug, in contrast to the harshness of comparison. Because at the end of the day, comparison is a very harsh thing that you would never ever do to someone you loved. If you had a child that you loved, you would never say to the child, oh, you don't quite measure up against your older sister. You would never ever do that. And you would recognize immediately that that was abusive and harmful. And yet somehow that same line of thinking goes within you unnoticed and unrecognized for what it is. And it's the opposite of self-loving. And so we'd like to draw you back today into a feeling of love and a feeling of tenderness, sweetness, kindness towards yourself, and to remind you that all is well, and you are well, and you are so beautiful. You are so valuable. You are so needed just as you are in this world, without making a single change. That everything that you are is enough, everything you do is enough, and you're in the exact perfect place in your life at this moment, being you, which is such a gift to all of life. You absolutely do not need to be different than what you are. You are truly perfect as you are. And even as we say those words, we can sense within you the seeds of disbelief. You can begin to say, oh, but no, I'm not perfect because of this and this and this and this. And you can make a thorough list with all the reasons why you are not perfect. And yet we would encourage you to listen to the message for card A, because it's relevant for you too. That you are so unique. And if you truly understood that, you would treat yourself differently now. And you would absolutely honor and cherish yourself just exactly as you are on this journey, with all the intentions and desires that you're bringing forth. If an intention and desire that you desire to manifest isn't yet created, does that make you lesser if you're on the journey rather than at the destination? Does that diminish you in any way? The answer is no. It does not diminish you in any way that you're on the journey and yet not at the destination you would like to be yet. And again, we use the metaphor of a child, because if you were to see a child who wants to be a proficient martial artist or a proficient gymnast or a proficient baker, and they're just at the beginning and they're really struggling to get even the basics down, you would know that there's no limit to the greatness that they can achieve. You would absolutely, if they were discouraged, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to be a gymnast because I'm no good, you would say, well, of course, you're just learning, you just started, you're on your way, there's so much greatness ahead of you. You would absolutely not limit the possibilities for that person just based on their little experimentation and their beginning phases. And you are on a journey, and you cannot know the trajectory you're on. You can fantasize, you can wish, you can desire about where you'd like to be, but you do not know your trajectory. And if you listen to the life story of anyone who's accomplished something great, there's no way they could have predicted the outcome of what actually ended up happening. And in most cases, what actually ended up happening was far, far, far beyond what they ever imagined possible. So there's no reason to limit yourself based on what you're currently experiencing. And at the very same time, what you're currently experiencing is absolutely enough. And there's nothing more that you need to be or do or have at this moment. You're right where you need to be. You are doing so well. And if anything, we just want you to give yourself a pat on the back and much more celebration, much more love, and much more cherishing of who you are right now. And again, listening to message from card A is very relevant to you as well. Sending you so much love, so much care, and really would like to encourage you to take small actions every day to show yourself extra love right now, to counteract some of the harshness that you've been putting towards yourself, which really just puts the brakes on all of the things you want to create. So give yourself extra love. Show yourself love in tangible ways. And that is all. Ah, it's so beautiful. Definitely a message for me too. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I hope it resonates. Let me know in the comments below. And a reminder that the transmission masterclass, I'm just offering a very first free masterclass called Transmission. Discover the mechanics of divine communication. So it's really about setting up and preparing for and understanding how to create a direct connection with source or guidance from your own divine self, so that you can be guided in your life by yourself, from yourself, which is so beautiful because it protects your individuality. So to register for that, you can go in the description box below. I will put the link, and I would love for you to join. It's going to be so awesome to interact in real time. Also, if you would like a personal channeled reading or human design reading to really help you get clear on who you are and what you're here for and what your next steps are, then please check out my website, because I have my readings on the front page. I also do one-on-one work, which goes deep into, excavating who you are and bringing it into the world through creativity, but also through healing. And that's also on my website. So thank you so much for being with me for this impromptu reading. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. And until next time, take care. Okay, welcome to your reading, everybody who picked this card seed cupcake crystal. I don't remember what. Oh my goodness, this is so funny. This card, Turning In. It shows a woman meditating, and there's sort of these ghosts all around her, sort of spooking in her ear. So different voices in the head. And yet she's quite serene and quiet, and she's wearing blue, this calming, the emotional waters are calm. And it's the Four of, if it were a traditional tarot deck, it would be the Four of Cups. And in Osho, the Four of Cups is about emotions. Okay, so basically this card is saying that you may have been experiencing a lot of different mind chatter and different influences and different voices and conditioning, and being kind of pulled in different directions at this moment in your life. Maybe you're a little overwhelmed. Maybe a lot has been going on for you in terms of life events and circumstances. And so there's a lot to take in and a lot to sit with. And that's exactly what this card is saying to do, is like, don't go out and just take a bunch of action. Don't react to the different influences and the different voices. Go within and access your own inner depth of calm and peace. There are quite a few resources on my YouTube channel with guided meditations that you can go through. So you can find one that resonates in the meditation playlist, but I'll put one that I recommend up here for you. Or if you have your own practice of turning inwards and moving into quiet and accessing your own inner peace, then definitely this is the time to do it. So let's see if there's any specific thing that Osho says. Interesting. Turning inwards is not a turning at all. Going inwards is not a going at all. Turning inwards simply means that you have been running after this desire and that, and you have been running, and you have been coming again and again to frustration, that each desire brings misery, that there's no fulfillment through desire, that you never reach anywhere, that contentment is impossible. Seeing this truth, that running after desires takes you nowhere, you stop. Not that you make any effort to stop, If you make any effort to stop, it is again running in a subtle way. You are still desiring, maybe now it is desirelessness that you desire. If you're making any effort to go in, you are still going out. Any effort can only take you outwards. All journeys are outward journeys. There's no inward journey. How can you journey inwards? You're already there. There's no point in going. When going stops, journeying disappears. When desiring is no more clouding your mind, you are in. This is called turning in, but it is not a turning at all. It is simply not going out. Wow, this reading, the card A, B, and C, if you have time, I recommend just watching the whole thing. For me, I feel like this whole reading is for me, and this is really resonating because I have been putting a lot of attention towards the outer world and like changing my life circumstances and going after creating what I want. But in the process, I have noticed a lot more anxiety is coming up, which I haven't experienced in a long time. And it's like, it's all these desires are leading, I'm running. So I just love this because I've already been kind of feeling this exact same message. The woman in this image has a faint smile on her face. In fact, she's just watching the antics of the mind, not judging, not trying to stop them, not identified, just watching as if they were traffic on the road or ripples on the surface of a pond. And the antics of the mind are slightly amusing as it jumps up and down and twists this way and that, trying to get your attention and seduce you into the game. To develop the knack of taking a distance from the mind is one of the greatest blessings. It is what meditation is all about, really. Not chanting a mantra or repeating an affirmation, but just watching, as if the mind belongs to someone else. This is so interesting because I've heard from quite a few people recently who said, oh, I can't meditate because I really think too much. And to me, it was like, well, that's the whole point, is in meditation, you don't need to stop thinking. You just sit quietly and the thoughts happen and you watch them, but you don't need to do anything about it. And over time, the thoughts start to slow down. They start to kind of clear up and become less active. And then the natural result of meditation is that you do have a quieter mind, but you don't have to quiet the mind. You just watch the thoughts. So if you ever have thought that you shouldn't meditate because you think too much, that's the whole point. You are ready to take this distance now and to watch the show without getting caught up in the drama. Indulge yourself in the simple freedom of turning in whenever you can, and the knack of meditation will grow and deepen in you. Oh, I love this card so much. It's so beautiful. Okay, so let's do a channel message for you from the Council of Light. And just a reminder that this is a transmission, not just a message, so you can open to receive the energy that can act as an activation and even a catalyst for transformation in the direction of your greatest unfolding. And you might also in your activation receive your own messages or notice a shift, so you can just be observant of that as well. We are transmitting to you this stillness now, this sense of peace and knowing that comes when you know that there's nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to do, no one to be. You are all that is. You are isness itself, expressing in this moment, just through your very being. No fanfare, no big effort required. And in this pure being, you are magnetic. You are drawing to you everything that's in resonance with you. It's an inevitable interception, an inevitable meeting of you with the pieces of your life that are a part of your life's trajectory. And when you're so busy moving this way and that, going here, there, and everywhere, you miss out on what is actually for you. It's as Jerome Bragg says, the universe is sending you everything that you want to your home address. But you need to be home. You need to be at home in yourself, in your own frequency, connected with yourself, being you, not fretting about this and that and moving here, there, and everywhere in a state of anxiety, rushing. Nothing that you truly desire is going to be accomplished through rushing, but through peace, calm, and a gentle moving through this world. So it's this quality of gentleness that you're being called now to embody more and more as you move through life. A light touch. And the image that comes is, I was out salsa dancing recently and I danced with a man who just, as a leader, I mean, he was quite a masculine man, but he just did the most gentle, very, very, very gentle lead, indicators of where to go and what to do. And it really struck me. It was striking how gentle he was and how little effort is actually required to create the signal and to communicate. So that's kind of the message that I was seeing just a moment ago, is it doesn't have to take a lot of effort for you to create what you want. You don't need to push, you don't need to force. It's just the slightest, most gentle communication is all that's needed. And this gentleness, it feels so good to be this way because it's your nature. It's in alignment with who you really are. And you'll know this is true if it resonates for you, and if it doesn't, that's okay. But if it resonates, you just know that gentleness is a part of your nature and that it feels good to just be who you are. And there's good reason why you may have, learned and adopted behaviors that are a little bit more fanfare, a little bit more attention grabbing, because you live in a world that conditions you away from your gentleness. And yet this is the beauty of the I Ching. It's drawing us back to this quality of gentleness and modesty, humility, effortlessness, flow, not forcing. So you're being conditioned in your society to be more forceful, and yet when you move into alignment with your higher nature, you're effortless and you're very gentle. And this is the message that we're encouraging you today to embrace. Who you are is enough. Just you being you is enough. And it's enough to stir the forces of the universe in your favor. And then you actually trusting that is what allows you to also move in the world with a gentle touch. Thank you for being here with us today. That message was so good, and it's definitely for me. This whole reading has been for me, so I guess I did this for myself, which is great, and I hope it resonates for you too. Let me know in the comments, and I would love to share that I am doing my first free masterclass. I'm so excited. It's called Transmission, the Mechanics of Divine Communication, and I'm thinking I might actually start it out in YouTube and do a couple of the classes here live streamed, and then the rest will be in my free Facebook group. So I'm very excited about that because it means we also get to interact, and then I can also teach you, because at the core I really am a teacher and I love to bring people through a progression that ends with a transformation, so that there's like a starting point, a middle, and then a full embodiment by the end. So I'm really looking forward to that. And you can register for that in the description box below. I'll put the link. And then I also offer channeled readings as well as human design readings to help you really get clear about who you are and what you're here for. You know, what is your uniqueness and how can you bring it out into the world? What are your next steps? I work with a lot of very, very masterful people who are already on their path, but that they could use a little bit more refinement and a little bit more of an in-depth understanding of who they are, so they can even better actualize themselves in the world. So if that sounds intriguing, you can check out my website, and my readings are on the front page, KarenMcMullen.ca. And again, I'll link it below. And thanks so much for being with me in today's reading. I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to connect again with you soon here on my channel. Okay, take care.